I'd like to think of myself as a decent swimmer. I'm not really fast or unbelievably talented, but unless you've known me since I was little or are extremely racist, you would know that I couldn't swim when I was younger. I used to not be able to swim just like my little brother B. Right, B? Okay, so before we begin, let me sort a few things. Swim class squalor. Well, squalor by definition means the state of being extremely dirty and unpleasant, especially as a result of poverty or neglect. Okay, well, none of those things are true to the story at all. You can't say that that's not a fire-ass title. You gotta let me slide. Now that that's out of the way, allow me to explain the early days of swimming. Now, I didn't take a designated swim class per se, but I did go to a daycare after school, which would take frequent trips to the lake in Cincinnati. This was so long ago, I don't even remember how old I was at the time. All I remember was I got sick of sitting out while everyone else went to the water because I was unable to swim or might die of hydrogen dioxide-induced asphyxiation or whatever. I even asked my mom if she thought it was unfair they made me sit out. Get a job, son. So while I wanted to be in the water and playing with all my friends, I had to sit out and color, or even worse, read. When my older brother Mir found out I couldn't swim, he said, "Brother, this is unacceptable." It is? No man should be left out of the leisure of the lake, the shimmer of the shores, the wonder of the water. It's just a lake. Shh. Come here, brother. Hush, my child. I will help you become the best swimmer in the entire world. Actually, I just need to know how to float. Together, we will conquer the entire ocean. No one will stand in our way. They will regret ever doubting us, brother. Hey, Mir, can you teach me how to swim? Yeah, whatever. And so my lessons began. For explaining purposes, I'll use the learning curve principle. It's basically a graph that maps your progress when you learn something new. Phase 1, excitement. This is the initial shock of when you discover something that you can learn. Like riding a bike or learning a new instrument or starting to learn Korean because you love K-pop only to drop it months later, you insipid scumbag. This was the most fun part, just being in the water. Phase 2 is the confidence phase. You naively believe that you can do this easily with minimal to no effort, or the, "Oh wow, this is easier than I thought" phase. Phase 3 is the doubt phase and crisis. This is when you realize how hard and frustrating it actually is as you fail over and over and over. This is the phase where most people quit and believe that they either can't do it or will never be able to. After that is the, next is, okay, screw the graph. All you need to know is that I couldn't do it. I couldn't swim for the life of me. It was too hard. Months went by and I still sank like my grades after finals, and I needed some help. I am not that desperate. As it turns out, all I needed was a little motivation. I'm a terrible person. This girl who was the same age as me randomly expressed her love for like the water and the lake and stuff, which was something after knowing her for years, I never heard her say. Nonetheless, that's all your boy needed to get on the grind, practicing day in and day out to master my craft. And after months of struggling and almost dying like 4 times, I became good enough to stay afloat on my own, which was good enough. For me. When I tell you she was so impressed by my swimming, I mean she didn't care at all. She meant like the ocean, like whales and dolphins and the water like in general. And when I asked her why, she had the nerve to say, "I really like The Little Mermaid," which makes sense. We were really young. Well, I hope there's a lesson in all of this, and that's that no matter what you want to learn, whether it be riding a bike or learning a new language, or even starting an animation channel when you can't even draw, given the time, motivation, and discipline, you can do anything. Maybe even learn how to swim. Keep trying, B. You'll get it eventually.